What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Multiverse Monologues, the podcast show where we like to travel across the multiverses and fandoms that we love to talk about the movies and television shows that accompany those universes. Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Marathon. I am your co-host, Ben Rayside, and this week we will be ranking, reviewing, and discussing 2018's Venom. Ooh. Venom, I believe it was the fourth Marvel film to premiere in 2018. This was an October release.
Spooky.
We're here to talk about it 5 years later, and many more Sony films removed. And I know along with the two gentlemen sitting beside me, have a lot to say. So first of all, introducing those two gentlemen. First off, we have Mr. Ethan Westloff. Ethan, how are you doing today?
Well, as Eddie Brock says to Miss Chen, how am I doing? Ain't nothing changed except the weather. So I'm doing great. And I'm excited to talk about the first motorcycle riding anti-hero since Ghost Rider. Let's do this. Man, Come on.
How many movies has it been, man? At least 20.
Not long enough.
Not
Since Spirit of Vengeance. Spirit of Vengeance was our 26th movie. We are now 52 this week.
And that was our lowest rated one, if I remember correctly.
That's right. That was the last time we saw Nick Cage.
The voice you are hearing and seeing, if you're watching this on YouTube, is Mr. Micah Hett. Micah, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I was just reminded that we're going to see Nick Cage next week.
I go, the wind follows.
Dude.
The wind smells
Peak
like rain.
next week. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Usually we announce it at the end, but guys, tune in next week. But don't tune out of this episode, because if you're hungry, there'll be lots of snacks here. Eyes, pancreas, heart,
Lobster.
heads, faces, lobster even.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not a line from the comics? Probably.
No idea, Ben.
I'm pretty sure
No
it is.
idea,
I
Ben.
actually pretty sure it is. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments below.
Don't bite our heads off,
We
please.
pride ourselves in watching every single theatrically released Marvel movie, not reading all the comics. So comic readers, let us know.
There are other podcasts out there if you're looking for all that expertise. The expertise you're going to get from us
Not here.
is all of the film knowledge that comes from every single Marvel film that has hit the theaters. Before we get into this excellent film that we are going to discuss today, I just want to say two things. Number one, I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. We are freshly removed from that, so we hope your Thanksgiving weekend was epic and have a great holiday season. And number two, if you are on Instagram at all, there's been a lot going on there recently. If
you're new, welcome.
Yes, absolutely. This is the Marvel Movie Marathon. We review and rank all the Marvel movies, and we do a lot of other cool things on this channel. And we're definitely got a lot of interesting things coming up because we're coming to the end of this Marvel Movie Marathon. So we're going to have a lot of cool things in the tank. So stay tuned.
In the lobster tank.
Ooh. In the lobster tank. Nice poll.
So we're cooling down so we can heat back up.
That's right, folks. Let's heat right back up into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's open our sling rings and head over to the Sony Spider-Man universe of Marvel characters.
We found something. We call them symbiotes. Carlton Drake believes that the union between human and symbiote is the key to our evolution.
Eddie Brock, a down-on-his-luck reporter, becomes the host of an alien symbiote, Venom, after investigating the Life Foundation, a sinister organization conducting experiments on extraterrestrial life. As Eddie's and Venom's merge, they develop extraordinary powers and abilities, but they also struggle to control the symbiote's dark urges. That is your plot synopsis for Venom. Andy Serkis, there's and Eminem sings a song at the end of this. There's so much to enjoy in this. I mean, this very mixed bag of a movie that
So much to enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to shoot this over to Mr. Wenslow first because 2018. Where were you at with this movie?
Where was I at? I was in the movie theater watching this movie. Yeah, I saw this one. My good friend Albert, shout out Albert, he took me to see this movie in the theaters. I really had no interest going to see this because I knew I'm like a Venom movie. They were very open, like, yeah, Spider-Man, not a part of this. So I'm like, I don't really want to be a part of that either. But I went with my buddy Albert. I remember watching it. I remember leaving the theater, and I remember never ever thinking or watching this movie again until I did for this marathon. So that's where I stand on it. I don't know how much this movie wants us to think and digest what it gives us, but we're gonna do it today, and we're gonna see how it holds up, because I don't know why people don't have anyone of higher authority to call than verified YouTuber Eddie Brock. But I don't know, call the FBI, call the police. No, call Eddie Brock in there. He's going to do what he needs to do. Okay?
Like investigative reporting, that's how you're going to go after this guy who's literally killing people.
Killing dude.
I saw Daredevil season 1, and I gotta say there is an investigative reporter who does pretty stellar. Yurik is pretty sick.
Yurik is, absolutely. But like, just the scale of this, to bring in this very, by the, like...
This is a side note, though. That doctor lady, I forget her name, but she plays Ralph Saperstein, or one of the...
She plays the lamb from Zootopia.
She's also in Parks and Rec. She's great. Yeah.
And Alvin and the Chipmunks.
And Alvin and the Chipmunks. But we're diving into the plot a little bit, but she brings Eddie Brock into this mega huge facility. And they're like...
Jenny Slate.
They're like,
Dr.
Who did it? Who did it? Oh, who'd you bring in? Yo, are you kidding me?
There's no cameras?
We see them have a fleet of drones a minute later in the film. Y'all don't have cameras in this high security building? Yeah.
Can you tell Ethan's a security guard?
That is the biggest freaking plot hole in this. I'm just going to come on and say, I really do not like this movie. Venom, wow. there is so many issues with this movie. And the biggest one is, the issue of getting me to care. So I am not the biggest fan of this movie. I saw it like Ethan did in the theater one time and then rewatched it for Let There Be Carnage. I really did not like that. That was a mistake, a waste of an hour.
What led to that rewatch?
Because Venom Let There Be Carnage was coming out, and I completely have blocked this movie out of my brain.
We do have a podcast talking about Venom Let There Be Carnage. If you go back into the deep catalogs of Multiverse monologues.
Was that like episode 2?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So go check that out. But like, wow, this was this rewatch certainly does confirm my immense dislike for this movie. Mr. Het, did you see this movie in theaters? Was this your first time with Venom?
So let me tell you, I did not watch Black Panther in theaters. I watched Infinity War once in theaters. No, twice in theaters. Deadpool 2 I did not see in theaters. Ant-Man and the Wasp I did not see in theaters. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse I saw late in theaters. I think like 2 weeks after it came out. Venom, Friday night, baby.
What led to that, Micah?
My family loves the Spider-Man movies, right? We grew up on the Tobey Maguire ones. We didn't really watch the Amazing Spider-Man movies growing up, but Spider-Man 3 was one of my favorite movies growing up. My dad loved the Spider-Man movies, so he thought that Venom would be really cool to go see. So he took me, my brother, just us three. We went to see Venom. I think my uncle was there too. He's a big Marvel guy too. He's one of like the guys that's got the Punisher sticker on his truck and all that cool stuff. But we went, and I remember we went out of the theater and we were like, that was pretty sick.
Dude, yeah.
We feel like men.
That movie made me feel like a man.
Oh man,
let's go.
I saw Venom. I saw a bunch of dudes getting eaten.
Venom.
Yeah, and we're like, yeah, the plot kind of sucked, but you know what? We got to see Venom jumping around and killing dudes, and sick, dude. It's a dude bro movie for sure. And I gotta say, I watched it again today. Dude, it's pretty sick.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's forgettable. Yeah, like the story sucks. Yeah, but dude, it's so sick. I love Venom, like the character Venom, so much in this movie. I love how just absolutely loser Tom Hardy is in this, and how Venom just like beats him up for it. It's awesome. I love this thing.
You are not speaking from a minority standpoint here, because I
This
think
is
a lot
like
of people.
the common view. Like,
Yeah.
so when I got out of the movie, I thought those feelings going online, people were either dogging on it or they were saying the exact same thing that me and my family was saying. Like, oh yeah, like story sucks, but who cares? It's Venom. You go to Venom to see Venom be Venom. You don't go to Venom for the plot, right?
You go to Venom to watch him fight Spider-Man. That's why you go to Venom.
That's not why I went to Venom. I went to Venom because the trailer promised heads being ripped off, limbs being eaten, which I feel like was a bit lacking, but there was still Venom owning dudes in this.
Because yeah, we're a post Logan at this time. We're post Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. Rated R films do well. Should this one have been one of those? What do you think, Micah? Rated R? Would that have served this movie better?
It wasn't rated R?
No.
Oh, well, that's probably why I was able to see it before I was 18. Yeah.
You didn't notice the lack of showing anything?
I guess so. I did notice there was an F-bomb in this.
One, yeah.
There is an F-bomb
There
in
was an
this,
F-bomb,
yeah.
which is our first Sony movie to have an F-bomb in it, I believe. I can't think of anything else, but yeah.
I do wonder if they'll go the distance with Venom 3.
I haven't
since
seen
we
Venom
are-
2. That's one
Really?
thing I'm looking forward to. Well, you guys aren't as positive on Venom. I like Venom a lot more than you guys do. So I think I might enjoy Venom Let There Be Carnage. I don't know. I hear some people like, I mean, there is a third one coming out, so obviously people like it.
From what I remember, I do prefer Venom Let There Be Carnage, but what I also prefer is
To not watch either of these.
to not watch anything in this universe at all.
Okay.
Because like, I don't know, man. There's so much wrong with just the decision to make Venom without Spider-Man. Like that immediately there's a red flag.
Well, they already did that. So why would they do it again? And Sony, they did it once. People didn't like that. So I think that's where they're coming from. They see the audience reception. They're like, okay, people didn't like Topher Grace with it felt like a sideline. You know, people were paying attention too much to Spider-Man. If we put Spider-Man in this Venom movie, people would only pay attention to Spider-Man, especially because we're only one movie in with Spider-Man, like solo film, right? So he's been in what? Homecoming, Civil War, Infinity War. That's it, right?
We're not putting Tom Holland in this in any universe.
But why not have another Spider-Man? You are making another Spider-Man movie a few months after this. I recognize that that's animated, but why not have a Spider-Man or at least a tease of something
like
to come?
going
Like
somewhere.
Venom, to me, is not enough to carry a movie. It absolutely is not. And I guess I am absolutely in the minority because this movie made money, and there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who really like this movie. Sam being one of them. She really likes this movie. Oh, why'd you watch this without me? I like Venom. What? That right off the bat.
This movie made more than each of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. Like
All three of them?
Yeah. Venom made $856 million. Spider-Man 1, which made the most money. Oh, no. Spider-Man 3 actually made $894. So never mind. Spider-Man 1 made $821. Spider-Man 2 made $794. Venom's sitting higher.
That right there, folks. I want to say this right now. That right there is the reason why we have Morbius, Craven, recently released Madam Web trailer. That's why we have those movies. That is why we have that garbage.
You know which movies this made more than? Logan, Across the Spider-Verse, Doctor Strange, Days of Future Past, Love and Thunder, Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 each. There's
how I just
like yeah, you're Sony, you make this movie. Maybe you as Sony don't even like this movie. We were talking about it today. Like what does Tom Hardy
it made
think
almost
of this?
triple Into the Spider-Verse's box office, which
of course they made a sequel. Of course. Made money.
And then you get people that are just angry at this.
The budget was $116 million. The budget was so low compared to what it, I mean, like in general, compared to anything. Like this is one of our lowest budgets. 115 is like that low bracket. We haven't had a 115 or like a sub 150 in a while.
Deadpool.
Like Deadpool 2, Deadpool 2, Deadpool 1 was 58 mil, but that's ridiculous. Let There Be Carnage was another 110. So they were able to make this on such a small budget and make tons of cash. This is our third most profitable movie.
What do you think is the biggest reason for why it was so successful, Micah? Or even why it works for you so well?
I think it's just because it's Venom. Like, just the character Venom is so gravitating towards dudes that'll go to movies, like my uncle, like my dad, who will only go out for these stupid action movies that, you know, they don't care about the plot, but like they do sometimes, like John Wick. That's an example of great action plus great story, but it doesn't focus on the story. It focuses, like, there's huge elements of just action. And this isn't quite that. I'm still trying to rack my brain on what.
Do you think you find a lot of similarities between this and the people who like Ghost Rider? Like
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I described Ghost Rider the same way that I described Venom. It's the movie your uncle sees. Your cool uncle who is kind of like, yeah, it's your uncle's movie.
Does Tom Hardy have anything to do with it? Let's talk about Tom Hardy. Like, does his performance, which is very unique and out there in this film.
I forgot to get Dunkirk off the shelf.
Oh, that's true. Does his performance make or break it for you? If Tom Hardy is a bust.
I think that Tom Hardy's performance by himself is kind of bad.
Really?
But with the contrast of Venom, like Venom makes fun of him for it, and that's what makes it good.
Because Eddie's a loser.
Because Eddie's a loser.
You are a loser.
You are a loser, Eddie. And then everyone's like, "Are you drunk?" No, I've got a parasite. Dude, the awkward scene in the restaurant is awkward, yes. But I think awkward. It's like, what other movie are you going to be able to do this in? What other movie can you have this
Certainly not a good
stupid
one.
like acting drunk and being dumb the whole time? I love it for that. I love how bad Tom Hardy is.
Ethan, are you
So
in the
is
same?
this a case, Micah, where it's so bad it's good?
No,
It's not.
The character's written that way, and I love it for it. Because they literally call him a loser in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan and I have been very critical in the past of this franchise, and specifically both Venom films. We are just trying to figure out why there is such a fandom
Trying to
for
get
this.
inside-
You know, we
inside
have
the head.
the perfect specimen right here. You know, so we're just trying to. So, but Ethan, are you in the same? Where does Tom Hardy's performance rank for you as far as leads go, or how do you feel about it?
Yeah, this is like, because I've seen him in interviews talking about this movie, and there is genuine, like, he does care. I get that vibe from him when, especially seeing his interviews talking about Let There Be Carnage and just kind of the future of Venom. He does care about these movies, but this is one of those movies where I look at it and I go, hey, doesn't he have better things to do than this? Really? This is Tom Hardy. So something about it, he must really I don't hate his performance. It doesn't like, I just don't like the movie. I don't like his performance, doesn't elevate anything. And I really hate Venom as a character. Really? I do not like, I think it's written in that way where you're like, yeah, my uncle sees it. Well, I'm not my uncle. I think it's actually really kind of bad. And it's not something that I enjoy. And
I guess you just don't get edgy humor.
I don't get edgy humor. Yeah, I don't. Whatever. It's just, yeah, it's one of those movies that I sit down, I click play, 5 minutes in, I'm like, whew, this is better be over soon.
This has got to wrap it up.
The first act was very rough. I mean, I'll let you guys know. I mean, I told you before the podcast, I turned this on. I watched the first half hour before. He doesn't get his powers for 45 minutes in. So I watched half an hour and then I took a nap for 2.5 hours. And then I came back to it. And like, if you pick up from where I left off and have that be the movie, It brings it up a couple points.
That's your advice. So start this, take a nap.
Make it an hour-long movie, and it's a much better film.
I probably
The first half
agree with that.
just kind of brings it down a lot. I like when they don't focus on the
But
story.
that is one of my major issues. I don't care about Eddie. I don't care about his girlfriend. I don't care about the side plots, and that just makes
That's
it
why I
so
like-
that it's just
And the villain man.
it's man, Riz Ahmed, man.
Dang.
Okay, so fresh off, this is Rogue One right now. He's the pilot. I'm the pilot from Rogue One, and just he is so miscast in this role of intimidating businessman. He is the least intimidating person. Even when he becomes Riot later on, which can I say comes completely out of nowhere. They have all this trouble trying to find hosts for them. And then there's just a random scene where he turns into Riot. There's no setup. It's just,
No,
he's got a symbiote.
The setup is when Riot goes across the planet to try to find this dude because he just happens to know where he is. Through all these different people.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the little girl just happens to be in the lab.
But we don't see any of that transformation. Like Eddie Brock's supposed to be this 1 in a million guy who can finally achieve symbiosis. And then there's also
Riot's
the main
just built
villain
different.
can do that.
Yeah.
Riot's
I guess
the
so.
team leader.
I will say at some points the action is when Riot's wiping out that one whole room of guys.
The final act is pretty good.
Yeah, but even then when they're fighting together, genuinely it's like some Transformers scenes where I can't tell what
If
the
we're
heck is
talking
going
about
on.
like good sequences, I really do like the sequence where Brock gets off the elevator and they throw all the smoke grenades.
His
And
mask.
Yeah, and his mask
good.
comes on, and it's shot very horror-esque. Venom's this like
That
ghost.
was good.
Yeah, it's this ghost in the darkness ripping these soldiers apart. I think, as far as parts I enjoyed, that would be one of them.
I think that scene alone was the reason why that and then the final were the only reasons why this movie made so much. So you go out of the theater, you say, "Hey, what'd you think about that movie?" "Oh, dude, I loved when he got out of the elevator in the smoke scene, and then when Venom and Riot were fighting in the space station place." And then Venom had some funny lines
Isn't
in
that
it.
fight like
That's enough for
3
people.
minutes though?
That's enough for people to go back into the theater to watch it a second time. Like my uncle totally would have watched it a second time
That's the thing,
because
though,
of that.
I can't argue with you.
And that's exactly what
They
happened.
Go and see it multiple times.
Yes.
The October release date probably helped. This is the time of monsters, Venom. Like
Yep,
you have
yep.
that. I'm sure that release date helped it out.
And it was an early October release too, wasn't it? October 5th? October 5th, yeah.
It even probably got in people like, Ethan and I, who are not necessarily so invested in the character of Venom. I don't care. Every time Sony releases one of these Spider-Man adjacent films, I'm always going to show
You
up.
gotta see what they
it.
do.
I got to see
Yeah.
what they do because the character of Spider-Man in and of itself, the shadow that these characters are, in my opinion, what get me coming. Like, how is Spider-Man, or how are they not going to include Spider-Man in this installment? That's why I went and saw Morbius. Now, the memes made that experience really worth it, but there's no good memes with Venom. There's nothing redeeming about this movie in particular. I find it so boring.
Were people hyped for Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
The post-credit scene? Yeah.
No. Like the Into the Spider-Verse, and we're going to talk about this
Came out
next
of
week.
nowhere for me, at least.
Dude,
Yeah.
And it was from my memory one of the best experiences that I've had with any Spider-Man content ever in the theater.
My memory of that movie is so vivid.
Oh my
watching
gosh,
it in
it's-
theaters. Like I had no idea going into it. We'll talk about it next week. I
right.
don't want to get into that right now, but
But the difference between that and this, it's
Oh,
night
yeah.
and day. It's
Yeah.
night and day. The quality, the performances, the special effects. I mean,
Yeah, like you could talk about how this movie ends. Like, really, the Spider-Verse movies are the only thing Sony has going for it. And I mean, yeah, go watch a Madam Web trailer if you're listening to this.
Marvel wise.
Yeah, Marvel-wise. Yeah, you know what I meant. But the movie ends. This movie ends. There's 20 minutes of credit left. And that's because there's like a 5-6 minute Spider-Verse scene in the post-credit scene. Like, I think that's super cool.
Don't forget about the introduction of
Oh,
Woody
man.
Harrelson.
You want to go with cringe? I don't know is the right word.
Why does he
Camp. Camp is the right word.
It's so bad
He's
that
got clown hair.
when they revisit, his hair, he doesn't have that hair when they revisit it in the next movie.
Is that what he is in the comics,
he also
though?
doesn't say that line at the end. Like, they change up the whole scene. But the scene is he ends it and he says, when I get back or when I get out, there's gonna be carnage.
Gonna be carnage.
Like, bro,
Oh,
this is
'cause
not the 2000s anymore.
Yeah, that's how he looks in the comics, so that's why they
No, they got the look just
gave him the
right.
goofy hair.
They got the look just right.
Yeah.
In that. Like,
Now
I
the
knew
writing?
immediately it was Carnage, Cletus Cassidy.
Here,
But
look.
like, man, is that corny and cheesy. But
What about the what do you guys think of the stereotypical San Francisco car chase scene where it's all hilly, it's like the same car chase scene in every single
Ant-Man. We
Yeah.
just got out of an Ant-Man
Did it better.
California car
Yeah.
chase.
Yeah, they all feel the same to me.
Yeah,
they
they
all they show up to a dead end, they do the thing, and then yeah.
If
Road.
if I remember
We're
right,
going. We don't,
we don't need
roads.
roads.
there's a reference to the Daily Globe
What
in
is
this
that?
film.
It's not the Daily Planet.
You were fired from the Daily Globe in New York. And why would they not just use the Daily Bugle?
Different variant.
Yeah, dude.
Daily Globe is 616, a rival to the Daily Bugle.
Oh,
Daily Globe.
Google search there, folks.
is
Because the Bugle is
still
in
New York. They're both New York.
The Bugle's in Let There Be Carnage.
isn't it? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
on the page. It's on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
They just haven't built it there yet.
Then that makes
But
sense.
yeah, I don't think Venom's an interesting enough character to carry his own story, especially apart. Like, you do get the reference, like Jameson's son, I forget his name. He brings the symbiote from space. He's in that opening sequence, so I
Yeah.
like the continuity there. But I don't.
Jameson. Yeah.
Right, I don't care. I don't care about Venom. I don't care about Eddie Brock. It's like same thing for me. Like, I think the Punisher show does it much better. But the same thing with that. Punisher to me is only so interesting when Daredevil is not involved, right?
Mhm.
But take that down by like 600 degrees. Venom is only so interesting when Spider-Man is not there.
I mean, and you can't. There is a Venom comic that I did read, which focuses on the symbiotes and their society
Mhm.
and their like war in the stars, which is actually pretty interesting. But I don't know, man. The best Venom stories in the comics have Spider-Man in it, and it's so like, all right. In 2018, the multiverse is a new concept. All right, introduce a freaking Spider-Man. I really, this is. And I'm not talking Madam Web, please. Like, we need a Peter Parker. We need a Miles Morales in this universe to center around. At some point, like, we can't focus on these villains who are villains and then make them anti-heroes. I don't. Oh man,
And
it's
have
so,
no hero to.
You guys
Circle
don't
them
get
around.
it. It's all building to Sydney Sweeney's Spider-Woman.
Oh,
Right? That's who this Venom's gonna fight. Come
great.
on now.
Well, make me care in
Is
any
it getting
way.
hot in here? I'm starting to sweat like Tom Hardy.
But dude, at this
I
point,
got a lobster tank over there for you. Go hop in it.
I throw a lot of blame at this movie for creating where we're at right now with the S.P.U.M. universe of Marvel characters. I don't know.
Sony Picture. What is it? Sony Pictures Marvel Universe.
No,
Marvel
like
universe of characters.
the acronym
Yeah.
is not even correct.
Right.
Like the way that they do it, they need to do it that way so you can say it as an acronym, but the acronym isn't correct. The words are off. Like even that. I don't know, man. Michelle Williams is in this movie.
Yeah, she
From-
is. From The Greatest Showman.
and
But-
she wears a symbiote for like a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was enough to get me to watch it again.
I don't know.
Like, I like that sequence, I guess. Was Rebecca with you when you watched that?
She was like, what? Why did they do that?
It is very strange. Like she is so angry with him this whole movie, and then she just starts smooching him. Although I think she does say at the end of this, that was your friend's idea, which
No.
no, she does.
She does say that.
She does say it at the end.
She wanted.
Here, Ethan, this is my friend's idea.
Mikey, get your hands off me.
You audio listeners.
You
Oh
got
man,
a treat.
I just
No, yeah, she her characters is also like, what the heck is going on with you? It's that I don't know how much time passes, but they break up after
6
being
months.
engaged. It's 6 months.
6 months, and then she's already got a new man.
And she not only does she have a new man, but they're making out in the street, and then he's standing there like this.
It's like, hey, I was just by and I saw Dr. Pemberton in the window, and how's it going? Oh, yeah, the cat.
and this doctor's like the nicest guy. Like, oh shoot, he's not insecure about her ex. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
bro, let's go. I'll help you out, dude. Like,
And she's
come
like,
on.
no, you
Right.
need to go away.
Also, like later in the movie, when the doctor has the test results, she calls him. She's like, Eddie, yo, there's something wrong with you. We saw your results. It's like,
Why
what?
does she
Why,
have
why is
any-
she calling him?
Right.
And
You
then
know-
later, the doctor, he tries calling Eddie and he can't. It's like, what?
You know who she reminds me of is MJ from Tobey Maguire's Spider-Verse or Spider-Man.
Whoa,
Really?
explain.
Because she's only around when she wants to be important. She's only around like, Eddie, you're not cool anymore, so see ya.
How about when they're fighting?
Oh, you have something wrong with you. Eddie, there's something wrong with you. Like, she's only there to communicate the rest of the plot.
But in the final battle, when they're fighting on the tower,
Yeah, exactly.
she turns the little knob up and she goes, "Oh yeah, I can play dirty."
Oh,
What?
Okay.
You turned the sound up.
You
on a-
sure did that.
that's a bad
Amazing.
one, man.
Dude, I love it. I love this movie. I love that it doesn't have any implications on the MCU because
Okay.
it doesn't.
There's an appeal to
And
that.
that's
Yeah.
why this movie works compared to. All right, so when this episode comes out, it'll be a couple weeks out from the Marvels, but that's why this movie works a lot more for me than the Marvels because you can have fun in the Sony MCU because nobody cares about it. There's
All
a
right,
lot of
you
stuff
know
going
what?
on in the
I
MCU.
am not going to argue with that
Yeah.
one. I agree with that take. I
Yeah.
can sit
that the
down and
Marvels
just,
is worse.
It's like Ghost Rider. You
That's
can
a
have a fun
podcast
movie like
for
Ghost
another day.
Rider because it's not part of a greater cinematic universe that anybody cares
I will
about.
be the hot take man on the podcast. I like the Marvels better than Venom.
Ooh, really? Really?
110%.
Really?
This movie blows, Micah.
It really
This
does.
movie sucks.
No, this movie chops.
No.
It eats. This movie cooks.
That's the thing, bro. We're in the minority. Like,
No, we're not in the minority.
Yes, you are.
No, no,
Like,
we
Do
are
you want
not.
to hear scores?
No.
Do you want to hear scores right now?
Yeah, people don't like this movie. Okay, I know
yeah,
the
people-
internet. People on the internet like this, but this is not a no.
You ask the average person, bro. I guarantee you,
No.
you will get more.
There-
Oh yeah, I had fun with
There's
Venom.
no
Here.
way.
Rotten Tomatoes critic 30. Rotten Tomatoes audience 80.
Dude, that's
Metacritic
that. There you go. Right
35. Metacritic user 6.3 out of 10. IMDb 6.6. So like
Don't say the average yet, but that's just wild. bro.
Letterboxd
That's
2.9.
wild.
So on the lower end of Letterboxd, but Letterboxd is Letterboxd.
And I mean, we've been like, let us know what you think. Like, why is this movie also in the comments below? Like, seriously, I know there's a lot of people and fans out there. Like,
It's got to hinge on that Eddie. You know, people like the Eddie Venom dynamic, which all very much doesn't work for me at all.
no, yeah,
So you guys would say that you prefer this over Topher Grace?
All right, you're like taking like the bar so low here.
for both, but for both performances, Topher Grace is nice and memeable now, but I mean, both are terrible.
Like-
you need a great. We still have yet to see that, and I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet, but I hear that is a fantastic Spider-Man Venom story right there. So
Is the
maybe
sound
you've already
thing,
got it.
Is the sound thing something in the comics too? Or
Yeah.
was it just like, oh yeah, they did that in Spider-Man 3,
No,
so we
that's
got it.
part of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mhm. Yeah, that is. And we'll say here's something nice about the movie. CGI, pretty good.
There are a couple
Pretty good.
arm things that are weird, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. I like the CGI. It was disgusting. Like, actually gross.
The fluidity of it was really good compared to Spider-Man 3. I don't like how like weirdly realistic
There's
that
very
one
like
is.
gooey finger.
This one
might
seems
might
more
come
liquid.
up as like a personal attack, but like Tom Hardy, it's a net worth of $45 million.
Dang.
Like, why doesn't bro get some braces?
Imagine how.
You know what I'm saying? Are you distracted by his one tooth? Anyone else distracted by his one tooth?
yes,
I noticed
I
his
noticed
teeth,
it,
but
yeah.
I wasn't distracted by them.
I one tooth that gets me a little like, oh, dude, just fix that, bro.
We were watching Baby Driver the other night, and what's his name? Jamie Foxx.
Foxx,
Jamie
yeah.
Foxx. He clearly has a tooth extension that goes across the center
that
of his
movie,
tooth.
yeah.
That was distracting because he's got a gap, right? He's got a gap tooth.
I don't think he does.
No,
No,
They
the
gave
eel.
him a gap for TASM 2.
no. I thought that they
Did you
took
not-
out the false tooth because he actually does.
Yeah, I don't know. Look that up.
Well, dude, you just got to look up the eel scene. He did, and then they fixed it. So that's why his teeth is good now, because that eel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that's
dude, that's his
pre-eel.
actual teeth.
That's pre-eel right there.
Yeah.
We're just looking at.
I don't know.
photos
He's
of
got
Jamie
some.
Foxx
He's
right
got
now.
some
It's
tooth things.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah. Venom's teeth are. Yeah, I mean, I noticed it. I don't really.
Venom's got a lot of teeth.
Venom does have
Venom's
a lot
got
of teeth.
cool teeth. I'll give him
I
that.
think that this is the grossest movie we've seen on the podcast. Like those Venoms were actually kind of gross.
Mhm.
Is there
Is
a
it the
movie?
grossest movie we've seen?
I don't like the
I'm willing to commit
Deadpool
to
1
that.
was definitely more
The
gross.
symbiotes are.
you ask me.
The symbiote texture,
Like
is just-
grotesqueness, you're talking?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I can get behind that.
because it's not gore; it's something different.
Body horror.
Yeah,
But yeah,
not even. Yeah, because like the broken, but they do that in Deadpool too. I guess so. I don't know.
I'm glad you do like this movie though, Micah.
Yeah.
because I
I'm-
just
I'm-
it would be just a hate fest without
That's good
you.
for you.
I'm glad I'm here.
You know, it's true. No,
I feel like the Parasite
We need a
here.
balanced review of
Valid.
of this film, and we've got it here, folks. We've
great.
got it.
In the movie, there's this sequence when.
Guys,
So
I-
also, this has like a Blue Beetle effect to it, where hero gets a suit, does not learn how to use it in any way. It's
because
just
he doesn't use this suit.
yeah, it's just the suit fully using him.
Yeah.
Blue Beetle does that. This movie does that. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, yeah, there's an arc from a superhero standpoint. But when he's learning to use his powers, there's a sequence where he flies through a window. There's a bunch of kids gaming, right?
Yeah.
Someone flies through a window. What's your first reaction?
Sorry, I got a parasite.
No. What it's that one of the guys falls in, they're like confused, and he goes, "How did you do that? Really? What would you say? If someone flies through this window right now.
How did you do that?
How did you do that, bro? That's
Bro.
crazy."
They're playing on their PS4, playing
I'll get to
Spider-Man.
that question at some point.
I really loved the punchline of whenever someone notices something wrong with them, he's just like, "Yeah, I got a parasite.
I got a parasite.
I got a parasite. Stop calling me a parasite." Dude,
He,
I like that.
dude, he gets crazy in some sequences, bro. The tank with the lobsters. That's a dude.
Yeah, if you want to go along the lines of this is a dumb, fun movie, I kind of like my dumb, fun movies to be a little more dumb
Mm,
and a little more fun.
yeah.
And this is kind of dumb in the wrong way,
Okay.
right? Like I like those very like heavy.
If this is what this movie was trying to do,
that it executed it perfectly.
Like, the potential that this character has in the right hands is what also disappoints me.
well,
It
that's
could
also
be.
with all the Sonyverse.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
that's any character ever, Ben. The potential that
but
this
they,
character
but
has.
they, I guess, even now, especially in 2018, they've been knocking it out of the park with so many characters, so many movies, and then you get this, and now you.
I
get,
say, as like someone who follows the MCU and really loves what they're doing, it is kind of going with Micah's point. I'm not doing a full heel turn, but it is fun where we can turn on Morbius and go, look at this stupid universe trying to do MCU things.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. I don't like the direction, but there is like
It's separate, so it gives us a sandbox to like, okay, yeah, they
like,
can do
oh
whatever
my
they want.
goodness.
That's fine.
because we'll go see Craven opening night. We'll go see Madam Web opening night. But we don't have to like it. But there's
I'm
that
gonna go
fun.
see El Muerto.
There's that El Muerto's gone, Micah. They're not doing it. Bad Bunny's like, this is a little too Bad Bunny for me.
Dang, dude.
That bunny's been slaughtered.
I mean, that was from day one, bro. That wasn't getting made.
Wait, there was a bunny in this movie. Was that referencing El
Bad
Muerto?
Bunny. Got him.
They were laying the foundation, bro. Venom.
If there's one thing that I have to really commit to saying that I hate in this movie, we talked about him a little bit earlier, but Carlton Drake, I don't like the Riz. I hate how every single line out of his mouth is, the thing is dying. The thing, like, it's all, he has no sense of humanity, which that's what he's trying to it's just, that's the cheesiest part to me, is the villain.
Get this guy out of here.
That's, if I had to be like, okay, come on guys, let's rewrite this villain, just tweak the lines just a little bit. Don't be so on the nose with, he doesn't care about anything and is only in it for, if we saw some sort of effect of like his what's the company called? The company is called Life Foundation. We don't see the Life Foundation doing anything life-giving, but we just are told that they do stuff. Why don't we see anything like that?
They're visiting other planets so that they can harvest
aliens. Yeah, but why don't we get a little bit more building of that villain? I think this is one of the dumbest villains we've had in a while. Just because of, they don't give us any no reason at all to like this guy.
Yeah. And
which is pretty essential nowadays.
He is the villain, but like, I don't know, the best villains you can root for and get behind, and this is just generic businessman.
Or at least think are cool. Like, they don't have to be likable. They can just be coolable.
It also falls in the trope of, hero fights villain with the same power.
Yeah.
And it's like,
with great power comes great responsibility, Ben.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You'd say the same to Sony. With great characters come great responsibility. You don't do that. So there's a sequence in right after he eats all the fried chicken, he goes to bed, he wakes up, or he has to barf, right? He goes to barf.
Oh, that was gross.
Before he barfs, you pause the TV. I don't know why I just saw this. His toilet is disgusting.
Oh, it's so gross.
Before he like has some explosive diarrhea just cannonballing in that toilet. It's crazy.
I bet that was Tom Hardy's actual apartment. Did you see his fridge? He's got a box of Eggos. He's got 2 bags of tater tots. He's got all the beers. Like,
dude, he gets it all.
He has no
Mrs. Chen's.
He throws away a whole half chicken in the trash just so that he can eat it as Venom.
Dude, imagine filming that scene.
Imagine eating raw tater tots. Did they cook those before? Because you can't eat frozen tater tots.
Not eating.
You'll get worms.
Ice cubed. You'll get worms.
You'll get worms from uncooked tater tots.
You speak from experience?
No, that's common sense.
Are you so like if you eat them, they'll like start growing in your stomach?
Like raw potato. If you eat raw potato, you'll get worms.
Are you serious, dude?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like eating raw meat. You can't do that.
Dude,
Ben, have you been eating raw potatoes?
Dude, this movie is really opening my eyes.
Which eyes? Your Venom eyes or your...
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I just like the part where he goes... Venom eyes appear when he's looking at the bathroom, and then he just faints in the toilet or the tub. Oh yeah, great.
Last thing I'll say is there are certain points in this movie with, his Eddie Brock's performance that he's actually, I do kind of like.
Yeah.
There are certain scenes that he's in, like he goes to tap on the guy's door and he's like, "Could you turn your music down, please?" Like he's so like so like Weasley and
I love
sweaty.
before he goes up to that guy. Both times he's like, even before he's Venom.
Wait. They're that one. It totally feels like it's a reshoot. Like, oh, they were supposed to bring out that, but then they just didn't add any special effects to it. So he's just. Dude,
Oh, speaking of reshoots, when both times when they unleash the Venom and they do that shot where it like leaks out and then goes onto the floor, that looks like the same exact CG
Yes.
shot. I feel like that's the same thing
yeah.
both times.
Just recycle.
Well, this movie was very heavily reshot, and a lot was cut out, much to Tom Hardy's, like, he really wanted to keep a lot of it in. And he says there's a much better version of this movie out there, one focusing more on Eddie Brock's character development.
Release the Ruben Fleischer cut.
Release the Tom Hardy cut.
The Tom Hardy cut.
Well, Ruben Fleischer does not direct the second one. I believe it's Andy Serkis who does the second film.
I believe so, yeah. And Ruben Fleischer, he I like some of his movies. The Zombieland movies were pretty good. I had a fun time in Uncharted. It wasn't the greatest thing, but he did executively produce the second one. The second Venom movie.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
But other than those few things in his, he's got a lot more trash in his IMDb catalog. I don't know how he got the credit for director on this.
Gentlemen, is there anything else you'd like to say on Venom before we get into favorite character, favorite scene?
I'm Stan Lee cameo.
Stan Lee did cameo in Venom. It can't be that bad.
And he is
And he has his omniscience in this.
he does.
He knows that there's two.
He knows there's two of them.
I mean, the Watcher. Come on.
Watchful
Or
protector.
an agent of the Watchers.
Sweaty Brock, have we said that throughout the podcast?
I think
No.
we haven't said it enough.
Yeah, Sweaty Brock.
Sweaty Brock.
I'm feeling sweaty. Right. I wore a gray t-shirt hoping we can get some sweat stains, but maybe not today, folks.
Oh, we'll just have to take our shirts off.
Man, wouldn't that be a
The
treat?
Patreon page, Shirtless Podcast.
Yep. Ethan, do you have a favorite character in Venom?
Oh, great question.
The bag of tater tots. The second bag, not the first one.
Who is my favorite character? That is something we do this every week. I did not think about that. I will take the lobster in the lobster tank.
Did you know there was candy in there?
You know what?
Chocolate candy?
I'll take Stanley. Stanley's my favorite character.
Lance T.
Money. I felt good during that scene.
Yeah,
That was a good scene.
it's a good movie.
Micah, come
I'm
on.
gonna say Gemini the dog.
Good pick.
Okay.
No,
All right.
Mrs. Chen.
Mrs. Dude,
Into
You
the
gotta
across
pick
the
someone
Spider-Verse
else, bro.
fame.
All right.
you gotta pick someone more mainstream because you like this movie. I was gonna pick. No, I'm
I'm gonna say. I don't know. Can I say Venom?
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Venom. I like how
Venom, not Eddie.
not Eddie. I like Venom more than Eddie. I mean, the credit is the same character, so I guess I could say both.
Tom Hardy does the voice for
Yes.
Venom as well. Yeah.
Yeah. According to IMDb, I like how. I mean, I already said it. I like how Venom just dogs on Eddie the whole movie, and he's like, "Yes, we. That's what I meant."
That is what I meant. Dude,
I think the heel turn of Venom is quite quick. I think we should have heard a little bit more about why he wants to not destroy Earth or not bring, like, what is his motive to keep them. But at the end of the day, I don't care.
but. All right, my favorite character is the Doctor.
Security Chief Roland Treese.
The Doctor is my favorite
What's
character.
her name?
Dr. Dan Lewis or Dr. Dora Skirth?
Whoever.
Or Dr. Collins?
Michelle Williams'
Or Dr.
boyfriend
Emerson.
was.
Dr. Dora?
No, like the one guy who helps out Venom. He's genuinely helpful.
Oh,
and
yeah. That's Dr. Dan Lewis.
Dr. Dan Lewis.
Is it Reed Scott, this guy?
Yes,
This guy?
he's my favorite character.
What
Reed
else was
Scott
he in?
plays.
Good stuff.
He was
That's
in-
my favorite
He
character.
was in absolutely nothing
like
else.
this movie, guys.
American Horror Stories for one episode.
Ethan, do you have a favorite scene in Venom?
Yeah, I kind of said it earlier about that sequence in the building after he goes and he tries to get his job back. I think
The
that's
smoke
what he
hole?
does. Yeah, the smoke. You know.
That was when he wanted to drop off the evidence.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. He drops off the phone.
the Sony Xperia phone. Let that be known.
Yeah, that scene's good. I like that. It's shot very like horror-esque, and I like the way Venom's like shot like a monster. Like that was our favorite part about some of the early Hulk movie was
Very
when
Hulk-esque,
he was
yeah.
shot like a villain. I like that. And rip it like hopping out of the shadows and tearing soldiers apart. Super cool. Yeah.
Micah?
Well, I was going to say that one too, but I can probably come up with a different scene. Yeah.
Post-credit scene.
I've got
Post-credit
mine
scene?
if you want to wait and think.
The post-credit scene with Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, wait. Does that count as part of the movie? Because I will. My favorite character is Peter B. Parker from the post-credit scene. Locked
The
in.
homeless man.
Yeah, the homeless dead corpse.
Yep.
I liked. Man, I don't know. Like, what is another standout scene? No. Like,
Dude, I'm so hyped for your score.
I like this movie. What do I like about it? Couldn't tell you.
it's all like the same kind of quality for most of it, besides some standout scenes.
I
but-
see what you're saying.
Yeah. Like the rest of the movie's fine for me. It's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I liked. Okay, we'll say the riot and Venom fight at the end, where I mean I know that Ethan said that it felt more like a Transformers movie where he didn't really know what's going on in the fight. I thought it looked really cool.
That was
Ben.
Ben.
Said it.
Yeah.
Ben said
Yes,
it.
yeah.
Then I didn't know that. I guess. I liked how it looked. I liked how unique that is to this movie specifically. I like how corny it is when he's like reaching over the side, Riot or whatever his name is, Rizman. And he's reaching
Rizman.
for Riot to like grab him, and then Tom Hardy just kicks him off. Great, perfect, peak cinema. Martin Scorsese would be proud.
would
The
be.
beginning of this movie is my favorite scene. The ship comes back, no crew left. Very intriguing setup to the movie. Symbiote escapes. Ooh, man, what's gonna happen?
Mm.
And it just
Nothing.
But like it's a really cool premise. Where's the ship coming from?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's landing on Earth. Oh
You're
my
like, dude, I
gosh,
love
there's an
Interstellar.
alien symbiote on here. Like, whoa. It's a pretty intriguing premise.
And then
And then the rest of the movie happens.
Jameson was name dropped too. That was cool.
Jameson, yeah, John Jameson. That was
Which, if you remember, in Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, he's also an astronaut.
yeah, that's true. Dude, multiverse,
Marries Mary Jane. Or almost marries Mary
Almost.
Jane.
Whoa.
She leaves him at the altar.
Yep, for Peter Parker.
Says,
and
"Go
then
get him,
Peter
Tiger."
Parker leaves her standing in his doorway
In her
Whoa.
wedding dress.
in her wedding dress. So that must have been awkward, Mr. Ditkovich.
So cringe.
Anyway, gentlemen.
Right?
The score, online score.
Ooh.
I know you were talking about it before, but what is the average?
Average
for Venom?
5.5 out of 10.
5.5.
Landing it in 62nd place
Right where it deserves to be.
out of 90, I believe, in the
66.
internet.
A little
Yeah.
high.
62nd place.
5.6, you said? Average?
5.5. 5.5.
Maybe something.
The one that
you heard
matters a
me
little
say.
more than that, though, is our Hollywood Reporter
Oh man.
ranking.
Oh, boy.
I will ask you guys, is this better or worse than Spider-Man 3? What a good comparison.
Oh. Well, wait, what? No, way worse.
We
No,
know.
No.
But
This
according
Hollywood
to the
Reporter,
Hollywood
the
Reporter.
infamous Hollywood Reporter. If you guys don't know, Hollywood Reporter has a top, I believe it's 70 movies, 70 Marvel movies, ranging from Howard the Duck, Captain America 1990, Man-Thing, all the way up until Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. That's when this list came out, and it's kind of trash.
Just sucks.
They definitely did not watch through as we did.
Yeah, you said it's kind of trash. So they would probably like trash like this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, based on the rest of their scores, they definitely put this above Spider-Man 3.
Yep.
Well, Venom is sitting at a 46th place on the Hollywood Reporter list. Spider-Man 3 is sitting at 51st place. So close, but
Yikes.
not quite.
No cigar.
Not that Spider-Man
No
3 is
cigar.
stellar in any way.
Just
but
above Blade 1.
This is just above Blade 1.
No. Spider-Man 3 is just above Blade 1. Venom is just above Amazing Spider-Man 2. And Ben, sorry, but The Punisher is 57th place.
Ooh,
Followed closely by Punisher Warzone, 58th. So
that's crazy. That is crazy.
they're like, oh man, there's Punisher movies. We gotta
Dude,
drop those
there's-
somewhere.
right.
I will say this:
They didn't even watch
Venom
him.
is better than Thomas Jane's Punisher.
Dude, there's no way. There's
But you know
no
what?
way. Thomas Jane at least has a character arc in his movie, and meaningful stuff happens throughout the film. You actually feel for his character. I feel nothing watching this movie. You know?
Mm.
No, you guys don't know because you guys rated that horribly. Still not over that. Go check that podcast out, guys. You want a controversy? Man, we got heated in
Thomas
that
Jane's
podcast.
Punisher.
Anyway, gentlemen, that's those scores. Throw them out the
They
window.
don't matter.
All right.
Nope, don't matter.
Throw them in the lobster
Okay.
tank.
That's right.
Pull that chicken right out of the trash.
Take a bite out of that steak and spit it right out because it's dead.
Tater
Yeah,
tots.
don't matter.
Something about tater tots. Ethan.
Something about tater tots. Good. We'll fix that in the edit, Ben.
That's right. Ethan, give us your score for Venom.
Ooh, okay. Like I said, I don't really like any character in this movie. I enjoyed one scene, really. But it is pretty breezy. It's a pretty breezy watch. It's not the longest movie we've seen. We've definitely had movies that are super, like, offensively bad, super hard to get through, just a slog. And this, I wouldn't categorize in that, but I don't really enjoy it either. So I'm gonna put this just a tad bit under middle of the road. I'm going a 4.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, my turn?
I like it. 4.5. Yeah, you know what, Mike? Go ahead.
Venom. A monumental piece of cinema. Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan, they'd be proud of where Tom Hardy went from the classics such as Dunkirk and Interstellar Inception. Yeah, Venom. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Is it the highest quality movie? No. Are there some great CG moments? Are there some great shots, such as the smoky scene, such as there's some great lines that aren't that cringy. There's some great jokes, all around. I had an enjoyable experience. And when I watch it again, maybe, sure, I could see myself watching it again with the right crowd, but by myself, I wouldn't watch this again. So I'm going to give this a 7.1. 7.1. My first 7.1. I'll have you guys know.
Wow. It's right around your average, is it not? Average score, Mike?
My average score is a 7.2. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
7.1. So a
7.1.
4.5 and a 7.1. That's pretty steep difference, especially nowadays, folks.
Oh yeah, the marathons we don't have this too often anymore.
No.
A rotten score and a fresh score.
And we'll see what happens. But I'm
excited
actually
to see where this is on the ranking.
it's gonna. Well, yeah. Well,
Go ahead, Ben.
This is gonna be. I disagree with Ethan here. This is not easy to get through for me. I have seen this movie now 3 times, and the third
Dang.
time really, it was a slog to get through. And I was ready. I did not intentionally watch this when I was tired. I wanted to be invested and not have other things going on. Even then, it was a slog. I really there's so much wrong with this movie. There's way too many plot conveniences, and the main character doesn't interest me. I don't know how this movie made $800,000.
$800 million.
$800 million. Should have made $800,000.
The Marvels made 800,000.
Yeah, really. It frustrates me so much, and I don't think I'll ever get over it, how they make this was ever signed off on. And it frustrates me even more that it was successful. So with that, I am going to give this a 5 out of 10. Very middle of the road. It does not do anything offensively bad other than ruin 2 hours of my time.
Of my life.
But doing this for the podcast.
But you got to factor in
Yeah.
it gave us Morbius.
Gave us Morbius. Gave us memes about Morbius, which are even better. So where would we be without Venom?
That's what I'm saying. Very Howard the Duck-esque podcast today.
You know what, boys? A little tidbit here. We were playing Guess the Theme song at work today. My boss was playing music, and this 80s song starts playing. And I'm like, wait a minute. I have heard this song before. It's very upbeat. And then they said, Howard the Duck. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, man, I wish the boys were here for that. That was beautiful.
We're there in spirit, Ben.
You guys were, yes. Micah, what does that put us for our average?
Ethan with your score of 4.5, Ben with your score of 5, and me with my score of 7.1. We average at a 5.53 out of 10, putting it just underneath The Punisher at 42nd place.
It made it, Ben. It made it.
we have 4 movies where one of us gave it a fresh score and 2 of us gave it a rotten score. First one was Howard the Duck. I gave it a 6.5. You guys gave it rotten scores. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Ben, you gave it a 6. We gave it a 4. Punisher Warzone. I gave it a 6.5. You guys gave it a 4. And then this one, and then The Punisher. Ben, you gave it an 8. We gave it not an 8.
All that matters.
Definitely not an 8.
All that matters is that Punisher is ahead of
Venom is 42nd place, kicking Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance down to 52nd.
Holy crap.
Fan Forsick is now out of the top 50.
Oh.
And this Venom is what place? 42nd?
42nd.
42nd place.
So that means
That's
it is, what is that? 11th from the bottom.
That's low, man. That's really low.
11th place as the worst Marvel movies.
Wow.
First Class is 10th place right now from the bottom.
Oh, from the bottom. I'm like,
Yeah.
First Class? I'm pretty sure we all pretty much destroyed that movie.
Yeah, we did.
Interesting. All right. Well,
So adding to our rotten movies, we have now, what is that? 13 rotten movies on our ranking.
Is Punisher a rotten one?
The Punisher is.
Ouch.
So is Punisher Warzone.
You can't win everyone, folks. But you can win next week.
Yes,
because
you can.
next week we will be reviewing Micah.
Probably just another trash Sony Marvel.
Well, yeah, I was looking at that weird cartoon animated one at the end.
I saw the trailer before Venom. Oh, that's something I didn't add. The 4K Blu-ray menu for Venom sucks.
Really?
It's 4 pictures that you just like you hit down and then it goes to the scene selection, but it's just like a picture.
Do they have
There's
playing it? What?
no, it's just like Ludwig Göransson.
Generic.
No,
Did
Ludwig.
he do the score for this?
Yes,
What? That's crazy. He's usually so good.
the score wasn't bad.
Dude, it was.
It wasn't like awful.
Okay, hum the Venom theme. Okay. That's Eminem right there, man. Wait, okay, no, that's my favorite character.
Venom. Venom.
No, folks.
Enemy.
Next week, and we're nearing the time when it came out too. It's Into the Spider-Verse.
December
Spider-Man
14th.
Into the Spider-Verse. It is very highly revered among the comic book community, and I'm telling you right now, even people who don't like comic book movies, they love this movie. So, Micah, with that said, read us off our top 5 because this one could be a contender.
Should be.
First
Contender.
place. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Yes, sir.
All right. The other 51 movies.
Avengers Infinity War. Captain America the Winter Soldier. Logan. Captain America Civil War. And The Avengers.
It still surprises me that
3 of them, our top 3, are above a 9.7.
Yeah, we got to add a new tier. We have to add.
There is no 9.5 yet. We skip right to it.
We have to go up to 11s for maybe next week because it maybe needs a point clearance.
Ethan
on
tipping his
some of these.
hand.
No, yeah.
Ethan,
I'll
you just
tip my
gave
hand.
5 movies 10, so
Yeah,
He has the lowest average.
I hand
with
on
the
my
most
10s, baby.
how does that even work?
How does that work, folks?
And his average is only going down lower.
I run
after
this
week.
list, y'all. When I
does it
give
work?
10s, they end up in the top. Okay, let's set that straight.
Man,
That's crazy, dude.
my average is still a 7.2. You guys' are a 6.9. Nice. And a 6.7.
That's right.
Our team average is 6.95.
All right.
Look at that.
We're gonna probably bring that up next week.
So that's
'cause
that.
This one's a good one, folks. With that being said, this has been Rayside.
Micah, you want to do this one together?
We are Venom.
And we all hope you have an absolutely fantastic day.